Welcome, everybody. This is something to talk about from the Bainbridge Island Senior Community Center, and we are glad to have you here. Today, we're going to be talking technology with John Chen, looking at material related to phones, primarily, I think, and some other portable devices. And many of the things that John will be sharing with us are available for both Apple and Android products. We would like to acknowledge that we meet on the ancestral homeland of the Puget Sound Coast Salish people, specifically the members of the Suquamish tribe. And we honor them. We are grateful for their hospitality, and we are learning from their stewardship of these lands and waters since time immemorial. Also, I want to acknowledge that we are grateful to Fieldstone Communities of Bainbridge Island, which sponsors something to talk about. Fieldstone offers assisted, independent living and memory care up on their tranquil Rolling Bay campus. They also have day stay and respite programs. To learn more, you can call them 206-594-1010. You can visit them for a tour or check out their website at fieldstonecommunities.com or email ashleyc@fieldstonecommunities.com. As always, thank you very much, John, for taking the time to put together this material. We really, really appreciate it.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to cover, let me get the my screen up. Okay. Today is December 6th, and we're going to talk about some topics related to your device's memory. Now, a memory, when I say device, I'm really referring to your phone, your iPad, or your Mac, or your PC, any of those devices that you use online and to get at different internet things. Now, one of the things that is critical for your device is memory. Now, what does your device use your memory for? First is the operating system for your phone or your tablet or your computer. And in this case, for phones, we're really looking at iOS for Apple phones and Android for Android phones. It needs a permanent copy saved on the device itself. It is also used to save apps. Now, apps are add-on programs like Mail, like Contact, Photos, or Maps, or anything else you have added to your computer. And of course, it saves your data, which can contain books, music, photos, any kind of videos that you're watching or you have watched, and all of that also goes on your device. Now, part of that memory, your computer's or your phone's memory, is also used by the computer to store temporary things. Now, you're using this device, you go merrily along, and one day you come across something that pops up on your screen, and it is this. It says, storage almost full. A lot of people, when they see that, they sort of panic. And you don't really have to panic. There's a good reason for that message to pop up. One of the things that usually happens when people buy a new phone is quite often they don't buy it yet with enough memory. And usually you need about the good number to start with these days will be somewhere around 128 billion characters. Now, we're going to look into that right now. Okay, when you do get that kind of a message, how do you determine what your computer is using that message for? And in the case of, I'm going to be showing you some slides for your Apple device. You can do the same thing on Android, but because I don't have an Android phone, I can't create those examples for you. But the features are there. So on your phone, you can go into your settings and then general. Then if you're using an iPad, you'll say iPad storage. If you're using a phone, you'll say iPhone storage. When you type that in, this is what you will see. Something that says, for this iPad, there are 256 billion bytes of space available on that iPad. And this much of it is in use, and 151 billion bytes are free. Now, let's look at the colors. Application, that means the things that you have added to your computer, is shown up in red. Your photos is in this grouping is not really that big. Then music is here. Mail is green, which is that tiny little strip. And there are messages, books, podcasts, and operating system. Operating system is this chunk here. And system data is this chunk. So, whoops. These two pieces, you really can't do that much about. Every device needs space for the system and system-related data. So this is the part you can control. Yes, Reed.
I was looking at my phone, and most of the space, just like with you, is on applications. I have only 128 gigabytes, and a larger section of that percentage, maybe because there's less space on my phone than yours, is photos, which is pretty easy to accumulate.
Okay, we're going to give you some examples on how to reduce what you can do about it when you have space dedicated for certain things. Okay, I'll answer your question in a minute. So, if you have insufficient memory, meaning you're sort of running out of memory, you can solve those issues. And there are different ways to do it depending on what it is. For Android devices, you can buy a small chip, computer chip, a SIM chip, or other kind of memory cards. You can insert it into your phone for Android. Apple devices, you can't really do that. What it comes with when you buy it, when you bought it, that's how much you will have to stick with. But Apple gives you a feature which helps you extend the amount of space you have, which is iCloud. Think of iCloud as just an extension of the memory you have on your phone. Another way is you can connect an offline storage, which is usually a chip of some kind, and you can connect it to your phone whether it be Android or Apple, and you can take what you have on your phone, put it onto the offline storage, which is a removable device. The problem with offline storage is now, once you unplug that storage from your phone, you can't get at that data anymore. So if you're going someplace and you want to show some pictures to friends, it's that little chip maybe sitting at home and you don't have it with you. So that is the downside of offline storage. So you can always try to find ways to reduce the need for additional memory on your device. So how do you do that? First of all, let's take a look at what you can do for your photos. The first thing you'll want to do, I know that I do it, I will take a lot of pictures and sometimes only one or two that is really keepable out of maybe 10. All right. So you want to keep your good ones. So quite often, I may be taking a group shot of 5, 6 pictures, and I'll find some shots with different people's eyes. They're closed or they're in half blank. So get rid of those. There may be shots that just totally out of focus, or maybe you were accidentally pointing the floor while a picture was taken. So just keep the best ones. When not saying you need to keep everything or you need to delete everything, but keep the ones that you like. Also, there are photos or videos that you have no reason to save it. For example, somebody may have sent you a picture and it's cute. It's a little video or a little cartoon. You looked at it, great. Now you really don't need to keep it, so you can get rid of it. Now, what's left over? Maybe what's left over is still too big to store on your phone. So for iPhone, you can do a couple of things. You can go into settings, then go into photos, turn on something called iCloud Photo. It's a little slider, as you can see right here. Slide it over to the green. What that would do is it would take all of your pictures and save them on iCloud. So you can look at it and, but just think that that is an extension to the memory you have on your phone. There's something else you can do. Settings. Where did the cursor go? Settings, photos, optimize iPad or iPhone storage. And that is this option right here. If there isn't a check mark, you should tap it. Now, if you read what's directly below it, it says, if your iPad is low on space or your iPhone, full resolution of your photo and videos are replaced with a smaller, more efficient version of that picture. You may think that, oh, I don't want to destroy my good pictures. You're not. Those pictures are still on the iCloud in full resolution. But on a phone or on a pad, you don't need that high quality of a photo. So you can just, the system would just reduce that full version of the picture to a size that is more compatible with your phone or your pad. But just remember the full version, the complete full-size picture is stored on iCloud, and you can get it back anytime you like. So that's one couple of ways that you can reduce your storage requirements. Now let's look at something else. Apps. Reduce your need for apps. Remember, apps are things that you added to your phone or to your pad by downloading it from App Store. Now, when you get something from the App Store, you are essentially buying a piece of software. Sometimes the purchase price is zero. So essentially it's free, but you are still buying it for $0. Once you have bought it, that software is yours to keep. Now, a lot of times, I know I have, somebody would tell me about a certain app that sounded interesting. So I'll go on to the Apple App Store, or Google has a Google Store, Play Store. I'll download it, I'll use it, and I'll say, nah, I really don't like it. Those apps, just get rid of them. Now, just remember, you did buy it, whether you bought it for some money or you bought it for zero amount. Either way, you bought it. So you can always get it back. So one way are things that you downloaded, but you know you will never use it again. Go ahead and delete it. Another way you can do it is offload the apps. These are the apps. I'm not sure if Android system has a similar feature, but on Apple phones or pads, you can offload it. What it does is it will temporarily remove that app from your device. And if you need it again, the system remembers that you already had it. So the system will automatically bring it back from the internet, from the App Store. So it's letting the system help you manage what you have installed on your phone. So it's installed, but you may want to use it again in the future. So system is taking care of it by temporarily removing it from your phone. Another thing that happens, and I have a few examples to show you. You may want to delete an app and then put it back. Why? A lot of apps, let's say some news app like King 5 app or Seattle Times app, whatever it may be. When you are using that app, let's say looking at a video, and let's say it's King 5 app, you decide to watch a news clip, the app will download that video clip onto your phone. So you can watch it, and while watching it, you won't get any kind of stutters, like the video kind of pause and go again, pause and go again. So the app automatically download the entire video onto your phone as fast as it can and let you watch it at the speed you like. So the problem is after you have watched that news clip is not erased from your phone. So after a while, you look at 10 different videos, all 10 of them are still on your computer. So now let's take a look at an example. And obviously, let's say you borrowed a book from the library, or you downloaded a book, you read it, now you can delete it. Same with videos. Let's say you use Netflix for streaming. You can download a movie to your phone, you watch the movie, and when you're done, get rid of it. So we're going to look at that. Let's look at offloading an app. These are installed apps, but you may want to use it again. You can go into Settings, General, iPad or iPhone storage, and by the way, you can specify this option for any apps on your computer or just for a specific one. You'll get something like this. You'll see that offload unused apps. You can click on it to enable it. If you read what's right below it, in my case, if I turn that on, I can save up to 20 billion bytes automatically. Those apps will be taken off of your computer, and when you need it again, you don't need to do anything other than just use it, and the system will bring it back for you. So you'll notice that up here, my iPad is currently using 104 gig, which is billion bytes. And if I enable this, I can save around 20 billion characters. So that is one way you can reduce the load on your computer. Now let's take a look at, I think, here's another example. In this one, this part of it are applications. Down here, I will go to the next slide. Down here, you'll notice that I have these, and by the way, this list goes on to include every single app I have on my computer. And right now, this list, I'm only showing 3 of them right now. It's sorted by size, meaning the biggest app on my tablet, iPad, is Notes. And then Prime Video, that's Amazon Prime, then my photos. And Notes, you notice that it's 8 billion bytes in size. This field here, if you click it, you can sort this list not by size, but by name. So that any app that starts with A will come first, and any app that starts with Z will be at the bottom. So depending on what you're looking for, you can click this, change it from size to name, or back and forth. All right, here's an example. Oh, not yet. Okay, another one is deleting apps. But the app has ballooned over time, and that would be an example like a King 5 app. I can go into Settings, General, iPad, iPhone storage. You pick an app, like in the prior page. I can just, for example, this one, I can just tap on this, and I'll be looking at information about Notes. So in this case, I'm going to pick King 5. The app size, meaning the size of the program you downloaded from the App Store, the program is 92 million characters, bytes. The document and data, meaning it can contain videos that you have watched in the past. You notice that 184 million characters are documents and data. That means you're storing more on your computer of data. That's almost twice as big as the program itself. And the more you use this app, this number will get bigger and bigger over time. So what can you do? And by the way, if you want to offload the app, this is what you click. But you can, in this case, you can delete it. You can tap on delete app. Then I'll go into App Store, and here's King 5, and you see this. Some of the other apps, they're just showing you a whole bunch of samples of different apps that they want you to buy. Get means you actually want to download it. But if you see a cloud with a down arrow, that means it is already an app you own. And it's just not on your computer right now. Because a few seconds ago, I deleted it. And I'll click on this. It will download this app onto my computer again. Now, let's take a look at how much space it takes. The program is still 92 million characters, but now the document data is only 1 million characters. Now, a couple of slides ago, it showed I was using, 170 million characters. Now I'm only using 1.2. So that's one way that I can save my storage or reclaim my storage. Now I want to show you another example, which is totally amazing. Amazon. I use the Amazon app to look at things on Amazon I may want to buy. The app size is 191 million megabyte. Documents is 1 gigabytes, which is 1 billion bytes. And that is huge. Now, how did that Amazon app get that big? Well, anytime you go on using the Amazon app to look at a thing that you're interested in buying, all the information about that thing was downloaded onto your computer. And over time, weeks, months, this number here will just keep on getting larger and larger. So what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to delete it, click on this. That means the app and related data will be all gone. Then I'll go into App Store again, and there's this cloud with a down arrow. I'll click on it. It will bring that app back onto my computer, and now take a look at it. It is now only taking up 9 million bytes. So I've reduced the Amazon app from using 1 billion bytes or 1 billion positions or characters on my phone to 9 million. All right. Now, this is for my iPad. Well, sometimes I use the Amazon app on my phone also. So you can go through the same process on your phone. So by going through these steps, you can actually reclaim a lot of the space that is just being wasted. All right. Questions, thoughts? Anyone? Yes, Reed.
Do I use Clipchamp, which is a free video editing program from Microsoft on my computer, and it will save all of the versions of the app that I'm using, or all the video that I'm using. I use it to shorten these videos before I put them on YouTube. And
Okay.
so, yes, every once in a while, just removing the app, or it actually has an option where you can just remove all data. The app allows that. It gets rid of all that space that I'm filling up my hard drive with of videos that are multiple versions of things I don't need anymore.
Absolutely. And you brought up a great point that many apps, when they produce that app, they'll include an option. So the user can say, okay, I want to start with a clean slate instead of having to go through and do what we just did for Amazon or for King 5. They have built a feature into their software that says, it's kind of, think of it as you have a table and you're working on some project. When the project is over with, you clean the table. So now you can start fresh on a new project. And so that's a great feature when you can get, when the app's written that way. Also, quite often for me, I edit photos and the system is keeping different version of that photo. So if I'm editing a single photo for 2-3 days, that means there are now tens and hundreds of different versions of that same photo. Now, you can't see it, but it's there. The system is saving it for you. So you can either delete it going through this process, or find some of the app will have a feature which lets you clean the workspace. Okay. Switching topics. We're going to switch to photos. In this case, here is Pia, the peacekeeper, which is at Sakai Park. And most of you have probably seen, been there already. It is quite amazing. Now, do you see this symbol right here, which is the letter I inside of a circle? Let's say you see this picture, and it would be great if you can attach some kind of wording to it. So to remind you what that is. Now, agreed, Pia is on the island and we're now used to it. So you probably don't need any kind of comments, but let's say you did. You can click on this, and this is a different view. You can click on this guy, and you will see a set of info about that picture. Here, it says you can add a title. And it was taken on this date and time. I took it with this phone, and the picture itself is 5 million bytes, or 5 million characters in size. So this gives you an option to type in the title, and also you can add a caption. A caption, think of it, a caption is, let's say you just want to write some comments about that photo. Then there is keywords. Keywords are words that you can put in there so you can later look for it. And I'll give you an example of what I did. Here I typed in Pia, the peacekeeper. Notice when I did type it in, Now it shows up as the title of this photo. Here, that is the caption. It says, Pia the peacekeeper at Sakai Park on Bainbridge Island. Now, you may want to write something like, Pia the peacekeeper, I went there to visit with Joe. Just something to remind you more about that photograph. Then for keywords, I put in Bainbridge, Pia, Sakai. And in the future, if I ever want to search through all of my photos, any photo that has Pia in it, I can, in one of the other screen, there will be a magnifying glass up in this corner. You can type it and you can type in Pia, or you can type in Sakai, or you can type in Bainbridge. All three of these words are now related to this photo. So by typing in Pia, you can get every single picture that has a keyword of Pia in it. Now, one thing interesting about Apple Photos is that, let's say this is a picture of a dog, and you never gave it a keyword of a dog. But in this search argument up here in this corner, if you typed in dog, Apple Photos will go through your entire photo library, look for any image that has a picture of a dog in it, right, without you even having to type it in, which is super handy. Okay. Any questions on how to document a photo? Okay.
Thank you, John. It looks like we've
Thank
used
you.
another hour.
Hopefully
Yeah.
soon, John. Thank you.
Yeah, very much. Thank you.